Welcome to SEC Football Live. That is Trey Wallace, Outkick, Outkick.com. I am Braden Gall. We are brought to you by Tennessee Brew Works and all the other great craft beers in Middle Tennessee and in Nashville. Trey, back home for the first time in what feels like, I don't know, like a month of tournament basketball. How goes it, my man?
It's good, man. Like 4 weeks. That was fun. It was a fun ride. It started in Nashville at the SEC tournament and just kind of built. But got to see some cool spots. And Indianapolis is such a great place to host events, in my personal opinion. So it was good. Final Four was fun, and at least UConn made it a game. So I'll take
there's really so I've been to like 7 Indy 500s. I got family that lives there. I've been to the Combine. I've been to the Big Ten championship game. I've been to basketball tournaments. You name it. Number one, you can stay inside if the weather's bad, but I feel like the weather was pretty good. But the restaurant scene is pretty good, pretty decent. There's a good brewery scene. I mean, look, I'm partial to Tennessee Brew Works here in Nashville. I like the East Nashville Beer Works in East Nashville, as well as out in Mount Juliet in Lebanon. I love Yazoo up in Madison. Those are the three partners for the show. And if you're in town and you're coming to Nashville, then and you're an SEC fan, make sure you check out one of those three tap rooms and buy that beer all over the place. It's a great place. They're three great places to go hang out. 4 technically if you count the one out in Wilson County. But there's some good restaurants, there's some good food, good breweries, good beer in Indianapolis. I like the city. It's a good city.
I mean, I stood out in line for like 10 minutes for the whole St. Elmo's nonsense, but then I realized you can
That's not even one of them.
I know, no. I know that. I'm just talking about like the landmark.
Yeah.
But I realized I can get the same meal at Harry and Izzy's next door, and I don't have to wait in line. That's what I did.
Well, I'll shoot me a DM, and I'll give you the one of the best meals I've ever had outside of Tennessee was at a restaurant in Indianapolis called Vida. It's very, very good. VIDA. It's not for the faint of heart, but it's very, very good. Okay. All right. So speaking of Indianapolis, Michigan wins the national championship. UCLA wins the women's basketball national championship. And of course, Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana are your reigning 3 football champions. I am going to ask you a little bit later on, what do we think could happen this fall? Yeah. Which teams? Because I'm starting to see it's all the think pieces, right? All the think pieces are out about the Big Ten's dominance. It is the first time, I think, in 9 years since the SEC did not have at least one of these 3 championships. Clearly, football matters a lot. NIL is a huge part of this. It's a different landscape. Nick Saban is not a part of this of this conference anymore. But I'm seeing a lot of think pieces about how it's permanent or how the SEC is now clearly number 2 and how the SEC, like, look at the fall, win totals and odds to win this and the quarterback play, and everyone's like, it's clearly not going to happen this fall. And I'm like, that's all like so premature to me. So I wanted to have like sort of a hopefully a rational, intelligent conversation about all of this stuff, because 2 things can be true. The Big Ten is the best right now, and that's okay. And also the SEC will be just fine. Like it's kind of both. And I know that's boring. It's a boring take.
It's a cycle.
But that's right. It's kind of where we're at right now. So first and foremost, I just wanted you to, is there anything major that you take away from the tournament itself, whether it's about Cinderella's inability to upset people? Is it about the SEC having a down year? Is it about the Big Ten and Michigan being just absolutely dominant? Is it about what is the theme of the tournament, in your opinion, having covered it closely, that you take away from it going, man, I think that's an important element to the future of college athletics? Does that question make sense?
It's going to be minute in the grand scheme of things, but the way Dusty May put together a roster full of transfers and had them buy into his system, no matter the amount of money each player was getting, we've seen that across the country. You look at what Kentucky did. Kentucky spent a lot of money on basketball, but they couldn't get that unit to jive. And it turns out, they're ousted. They don't, you're not making the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, whatnot. I look at it as there are the return on investments, like we talk about a lot, Braden. It's going to be hard to come by in these sports, and these boosters, that are involved. Even, like the executive order that came out while everything was going on in Indianapolis. Perfect timing, huh? They did it on purpose, folks, by the way. They're talking about third-party NIL agreements. They don't want collectives involved anymore in college sports. And I'm like, okay, good luck with that. The boosters will find the money to pay. So I think, like, overall takeaway, UConn almost won the championship, and it wouldn't have been a Big Ten thing, but the Big Ten obviously won. Like, UConn got cold.
Sure.
I think that overall, college basketball is in a really good spot, and we are about to see expansion, folks. It's happening. I mean, I talked to multiple ADs, coaches, commissioners in Indianapolis. We're about to have an NCAA tournament expansion, and we're going to get above the 70 mark. And I think the best way to wrap it up is you're going to see a lot more play-in games. That's how they're going to do it. They're going to open this thing up to 2 different sites, one in Dayton, and then I'm sure they'll do one like on the West Coast area.
Like Arizona?
Yeah, like Arizona, not like West, but yeah, like Arizona. So that's coming, expansion. I would expect some type of announcement maybe in the next month and a half, something along those lines. And so, yeah, that's where the NCAA tournament's heading. And I thought it was a great tournament. I finally watched, I'll be honest with you, to end this, I know it went longer, but I finally watched one shining moment last night at 1 a.m. in the morning. And I was like, oh, that was good. Like, it was good. So, I will say this, Dusty May, one of the most humble, best coaches you'll see in college basketball. And Dan Hurley, like my man, my dude has split personality.
He's crazy.
I absolutely love it. I love it. And he's such a good coach too, Braden. Like
he's a great coach.
It's not just the antics, and then when he's walking off the court in the back of the hallway, he looks at me and gives me a Joker smile after dropping the F-bomb, and I'm like, this guy's interesting.
He's nuts, but like in the best ways possible. It's crazy like a fox kind of thing. And much to Indiana fans' chagrin, Dusty May, great basketball coach.
Be back there one day.
You can't have it all, Indiana. Okay, you can't have it all. What is? Are you hearing? I mean, I assume all those same conversations. Like, I feel like everything you just said about playing games, neutral sites,
we're going to football
expansion. It's the same in football. It's the exact same conversation, and it's the exact same dynamics. The calculus isn't any different between the 11 seeds that are playing in Phoenix and how do we get teams 5 and 6 in the SEC or in the Big Ten to earn their way in, or teams 3 and 4 in the Big 12 or 3 and 4 in the ACC. Like, they're going to earn their way in by playing in games that have enormous stakes, create great drama. People tune in for that, and then you charge a premium for your television partners for it, and everybody's happy. And like, again, I'm not saying it's done for the right motives, but it's all right there. Like, it's all. I mean, the answer is money. Now, what's the question?
It was all just that was a little tease of the basketball stuff. The football conversation was heavy in Indianapolis, and we are getting to a point now where I don't want to like report this. I don't want people to go like crazy on social media, but
we're just chatting here.
There are some folks coming around to the 2014 playoff, more than just the Big Ten. And I think that, I think that with SEC coaches, and I was around a couple of ADs when Kirby came out and then Greg Byrne came out. Folks, this is all calculated. And then, by the way, John Cohen came out from Auburn and said it antiquated. The SEC championship game is. It could be with the playoff. Guys, they're doing this for a reason. And I'm promising you, once we get to SEC spring meetings in Destin in 7 weeks, this is going to be the hot button topic that's going to potentially have a vote. And then it's going to be the same thing as last year where they kept pushing out the strength of schedule stuff because SEC coaches are sitting around, Braden. They're like, why the hell did we go to 9 games and we don't have an expanded playoff yet? They thought it was going to be twofold.
Hand in hand.
9 games, more expansion.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that. And I in my personal opinion, I think after this upcoming year is when the expansion will happen.
Well, and what I find really interesting too, and this is what makes it a really like I could play the role of like total Feinbaum-esque hot take guy who just is like, this is all the SEC responding to the Big Ten, and it's really not, but also it kind of is. This is sort of one of those where it's like a little bit of everything is true, and it's not as like the Big Ten's the one that's really been pushing college football playoff expansion, not the SEC.
Yes.
They're the ones fighting back against it. And so if they give in,
if anything, the SEC just wanted 16 games. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's what they wanted.
Right.
16, let's roll.
Right. And so like, just for the sake of, let's back up just for a second and kind of touch on the Big Ten dominance for a second here. I want to put out some facts, not to discount, and I want to make sure this is not to discount anything that they've accomplished as a league. They have always had forward-thinking, forward-looking policies. They're the ones with Jim Delaney who signed the ESPN contract in the early 90s before everyone else. They're the one who launched the conference network before everyone else. They are just they have always been as smart and as shrewd at business as anybody else in sport. They've always had bigger audiences, and they've always made more money slightly than the SEC. And so this is not an anti-Big Ten thing. NIL has certainly changed this. But 3 straight championships with 3 different teams in football is extremely noteworthy and important. That's the thing that's always been the difference between the SEC and everyone else. Is not just that like Alabama was dominant. Right. It was that like 7 different teams have won national championships over 25 years. And so that is the thing that is very noteworthy, is that Indiana did it. Yeah. But Michigan's football championship was the first non-Ohio State outright championship in football since before the civil rights era. And so I just want to put that into context. Michigan's basketball championship. When's the last basketball championship that the Big Ten has won?
It was 2000.
Michigan State. Michigan State.
Right.
So again, 25 years. Of course, good programs with smart people and lots of resources are eventually going to break streaks. But let's not pretend like a win by Michigan by 4 points over a very good Connecticut team is somehow indicative of the entire sport. The SEC basketball league last year was considered the best league ever, right? Wasn't the SEC considered the best regular season in the history of the sport?
14 teams in.
I'm not saying that's even legitimate. You can poke holes in that if you want to.
You're saying it's a crapshoot in a cycle, and I agree.
25 years. It's been 25 years since the SEC went 3 years without a team playing for a championship, which means it was 25 years of dominance. This is what happens in sports.
Yeah, and
you get good, you get bad, then you get good again, then you get bad again, and that's like everything is true here, Trey. The Big Ten is really good right now. Congratulations, tip your cap. I'm not worried about the SEC. That's all.
Football, women's basketball, men's basketball. Okay, Florida won, and I'm not taking either side here. I'm just laying it out.
Florida won the national title last year.
Florida won national title last year. Look what happens in college baseball. And I'm not trying to like college baseball to college football. I'm not trying to make that. But same thing for college softball. Like what I'm saying is that this is a cycle generation that we're in right now. Georgia went back to back, like Georgia's winning titles, Bama. And so we get into this era. And sure, it's different. There's money being poured in from the Big Ten schools, which I say,
great.
Welcome to the party.
Right, great.
Glad you started doing it. Should have been doing it years ago. I don't disagree with you. I do think that financially, here's how I've been saying this, using this reference for the last couple of weeks. I think I said it last week with you. You remember when the SEC decided, hey, we're going to get really good at basketball again by hiring all these good coaches, 20 years ago.
Hiring Mike Tranghese to be the,
Bruce Pearl came in.
That dude is on a effing journey right now, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Did you see his comments in the Tennessee General Assembly?
Yes.
Oh my God! Keep going. Sorry,
it was a lot. So what
I'm saying, Bruce,
my dude is
say no to something in front of a camera once. Just say no.
I mean, he went on dockets yesterday, and my man was going off. Like I was like, all right, dude, cool, man.
Is he okay? Is he okay?
I mean, he's good. Bruce is good. He's living life. I saw him at the Final Four. We were hanging out a little bit.
I know.
He's enjoying the life of not having to worry about getting fined by Greg Sankey or getting a phone call. Like that. That's just what he is. But I do think overall, what I'm trying to say here is that no matter if we go to 16 teams or 24 teams in college football, it's going to be 24. And then no matter.
So you're on officially. It's 24. It's not.
I'm not like personally thinking that 24 is best. I think 16 would be just damn fine. I think they're going to get to 24 because of they're going to rid. I don't know how they're going to do this part. The conference championship games are going to be very interesting to me, Braden, because of, and I spoke with some network executives, and it probably helps that I work for Fox. But the Big Ten is getting back their Big Ten title game next year that they had subleased to NBC. The SEC, and this should be noted here, the SEC title game, brother, is generating over $65 million a year. That one game alone. These folks ain't walking away from over $65 million a year for one freaking game because the playoff is going to change. What they're going to do is, in my opinion, is make this into a highly anticipated play-in game type of scenario where you
let me tell you. So here's what my hope is, because I'm going to piggyback off of what you're saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
My hope is that it's 20 teams, and let me tell you how this works. 13 versus 20, 14 versus 19, 15 versus 18, and 16 versus 17 for the last 4 slots in a 16-team playoff. It's really 20, but you get 4.
So you're okay. You're doing the NCAA tournament thing.
You're getting 4 play-in games, and the winner of the 16-17 seed matchup, or actually what you probably do is you reseed it, right? So if the 20 upsets the 13, well, then the 20 plays number 1. And so you reseed it to play the top 4 seeds in the bracket. You put those games, wait for it, geographically all around the country, maybe in home sites even, hopefully. I mean, I'd prefer home sites over geographically dispersed at neutral sites. But my point is you can still find creative and fun and interesting ways to do the play-in thing, which generates huge amounts of money. And because I'm willing to bet you the contract for those 4 games would be way bigger than the Big Ten or the SEC championship game.
And they could split it up between NBC, Fox, ESPN, all that good stuff, and they can all grab an extra 55, 60, 70 million.
Which is what the NFL does to all of its playoff weekends, right? Everybody gets a piece. Everybody gets a piece.
Even Amazon gets a
piece. So
my
point is you could do play-in games, still make it feel like a 16-team tournament, expand it by 4 teams to make it to 20, and not feel like you're including 8-4 Iowa every year. With 24 teams, because 24 teams just feels stupid. That's the entire top 25.
25 teams is horrible because there are not 25 teams or 24 teams that are good enough to win a title every year. You're not going to. Here's the other thing, too, that I love this argument when folks talk about 2014. Bro, is the 23rd ranked team in the playoff about to go on a run and win 6 games straight for a title? No. It's not happening. Their ass will be beat down by the second game, third game. Let
me pull this up real fast. Actually,
it's logic.
Let me pull this up just for the sake of.
Is James Madison about to go on a run to win a national championship? No shit. No, not going to happen.
Well, let me pull this up, and just for the sake, because I know that obviously teams jumped in, right? Like James Madison jumped into the bracket. So just go with me on this. So. Hypothetically, because Notre Dame and BYU moved down, so you've got James Madison getting in. Who else got it? Tulane. So Tulane and James Madison move up to 11 and 12. Let me just hypothetically. So that means Notre Dame would have been number 13. And if my math serves correct, it would have been Michigan at 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah. You don't think that's worth a ton of money? So Michigan at Notre Dame play-in becomes a playoff game. Then you've got BYU hosting Arizona. Okay, playoff game. Boom. Then you've got Texas hosting USC. Hello, thank you. Playoff game. And then you've got the Andy Ludwig Bowl, Vanderbilt hosting Utah in a game. Those are 4 really fun and interesting football games. You know what it does? Settles all the arguments we had on Selection Sunday.
And it also sells advertisement.
Big time.
That sells advertisement. I don't disagree.
I don't want to do it, but I'm trying to come up with a way that makes it work, you know?
Yeah, but the problem is that you've got one side that is, hey man, it's 24 or bust, and you got the other side that's been sitting here for the last year and a half saying it's 16 or bust. So
20's in the middle. What are we doing?
I know, but something's gonna have to get.
Compromise is when both sides feel like they lost. That's what compromise is.
I was about to say something that I wasn't allowed to say, but I
can say all the words.
Yeah, no. It wasn't cuss words. It was giving away information. I think, I think that I would pay I'm being honest. These next 7 weeks, there's going to be a lot of lobbying going on about the playoff, and then when we get to Big Ten meetings, SEC meetings, Big 12 meetings, all that fun stuff on Memorial Day around there, you're going to see some resolutions start to come out, some votes. commissioners start speaking up a little bit more. Guys, by the way, as we're recording this, I mean, and this has been a conversation that's been going on now for 4 weeks, but the NCAA is essentially about to give players 5 and 5. They're going to be, but the age limit's going to start at 19. Like, that was a conversation I was having with a number of commissioners last week in Indianapolis. Like, that's coming. And the problem is and I know we got a veer off track here just for a second, but that's coming, in my opinion, and talking with folks very soon, because there is a lot of players out there that are having to make decisions right now regarding their future. And if this rule goes into place and it screws them, they're going to be even more pissed off, and you're going to see more lawsuits.
I think you're going to see in the what goes hand in hand with lobbying over the next 7 weeks is trial balloons.
Yes,
you're going to see a lot of things leak, and on purpose. What I'm saying is a lot of that will be on purpose.
I'll try not to see leaks,
to see what the reaction is amongst all different interested parties. So just keep that in mind.
There's a reason why it came out today when we were having conversations about this for the last 4 weeks. Like, I'm just being very frank. Ross is great at what he does. I'm not calling it Ross is the best right now, but I'm just saying that coming off Final Four, all this stuff is about to happen. Why, folks? Because all the commissioners and the ADs
we're all hanging out.
We're all hanging out last week. And I can tell you what steakhouse and what they had to eat and what their appetizer was and what their mood was like.
Yeah. And you're talking about the eligibility, 19 years of age.
Eligibility and
5 years.
Right.
Quickly lay that out for everybody just so that people understand. An age-based standard, right?
And by the way, I got another 10 minutes for you. So I know we're doing.
No, I know.
No. I'm saying an additional.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
East Nashville Beer Works. East Nashville Beer Works. Check out East Nashville Beer Works.
There you go.
They have a great East Nashville OG tap room, which is where me and my wife and kids go all the time. Great pizza. They've got a full bar, by the way. You can get liquor drinks there too if you need to. They also make their own THC bevies, which is they're one of the only breweries that's doing that. Their beer is exceptional, and their tap rooms are great just as regular old beer rooms. But like, they make their own THC bevies. Very East Nashville.
You know what? If I'm ever not working in this industry anymore, and that could be this summer, I'm going to get a job at Tennessee Brew Works.
East Nashville Beer Works and Tennessee Brew Works. I'm sorry. But they're buddies. They're buddies.
Right.
They're in a craft beer co-op.
I can't figure out how they do the THC with the beer, but I'm so fascinated by that.
It's like a different setup, you know? Like, it's just like hemp water or whatever, but it's just bong water.
What you jugging? Bong water.
And of course, if you want to hang out at East Nashville Beer Works, make sure you check out one of their 2 great tap rooms in East Nashville or out in Mount Juliet in Lebanon. And again, they've got a full bar and THC options where they make it themselves, so you know it's good at the East Nashville Beer Works location right there in East Nashville. I'll tell you more about Yazoo coming up in just a minute. Also, we might have a really fun watch party coming up at East Nashville Beer Works, so just stay tuned for that as well. Tennessee Brew Works is great downtown, perfect for pre-gaming for a Predators game, which right now they got 3 more games coming up at home as they push for the playoffs. So make sure you check out that. If you're coming into town for the Ryman, or you're hanging out downtown on Broadway and you're coming to visit Nashville, I promise you, Tennessee Brew Works is a spectacular place to grab a good meal, a high quality beer, and then you can walk right downtown and party. It's great. I promise you. So go check them out.
You know what else too? Like, we got World Cup coming, so it's gonna be a fun time to hang out and eat some THC infused little stuff over there and drink it as well.
The Japanese national team is home based in Nashville during the World Cup. So,
okay, because I saw the USA was in Chattanooga.
Well, the Spanish national team is in Chattanooga.
They're in USA's was in Atlanta, I think it was.
That makes sense. I have my buddy. We were at the Nashville SC match on Tuesday night last night, and we were talking about like how, can we go to a match? Not even USA, just any match. Like, where can we go? Like Kansas City. Let's drive to Kansas City. What are we doing?
But go to your bank first and take.
Can you hook me up with some tickets? You got the connect, man. You work for the company, man. Come on, hook me up.
It's kind of good that my company
hook me up, dog.
Be hosting the television rights of the World Cup.
All right, here's what I wanted. I want to have about 15-minute conversation.
Did you want the eligibility thing real quick?
Oh, yeah.
When a player turns 19 years old, or they graduate high school, their clock starts, and you've got 5 years to play 5 seasons of college athletics. There would be no red shirts. There would be no transfer waivers, none of that stuff. You can fiddle around all you want, one transfer type of thing. Second would be like a penalty, but you would get your 5 years. So that's what it is. And there would be exclusions, or maybe that's not even the right word. There would be rules and waivers for those that go to BYU. Military, stuff like that. Whatever.
Well, first of all, that solves a lot of the I went to play minor league baseball or G League basketball for 5 years, and now I'm 26 and I'm coming back. Like that eliminates
right. Like wide receiver Monty Harrison from Arkansas would not be able to play at 30 years old, which he is right now.
And what I find, and honestly, like I hadn't really thought about, because I've thought a lot about the transfer rule and like what's the right thing, and it's a little too much, but I also don't want to sound and feel like an old guy who's like telling these kids what to do kind of thing. But also, like, I do think it's important to teach young people the value of quality decision making, and that you take risks and there are consequences. Like, I do think there's lots to learn here as a young people, not just like, hey, I'm going to transfer 4 times in 4 years. But if you give everybody one free transfer, just go play wherever you want immediately, and then the old rule kicks in where you just have to sit out a year after your first transfer, it's like a super elegant solution to the whole thing.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of back in the day. I say back in the day because things have changed, where when a player decided out of high school to go the Major League Baseball route,
Drew Henson
could not go back to college, like, period. You know what I mean? Now we've got it, and I hate to keep bringing him up. I love the kid. He's a really nice young man, but Monty Harrison from Arkansas played 10 years of professional baseball, like literally played for the Angels, played for others. Now he's back playing wide receiver for the Arkansas Razorbacks. So what I'm saying is that type of stuff would go away. You wouldn't have the Bediako stuff anymore.
Right.
So like that part.
No, I got you.
Settled. I think what you're going to see, again, you talked about trial balloons. This was a trial balloon today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think over the next 4 weeks, you're going to see something where the NCAA votes on it, and they're going to try to come up with it. And then, by the way, there will be a lawsuit that files immediately.
So, as always, the reports of the SEC's demise have been greatly exaggerated.
Yeah,
and I'm seeing a lot of people, reporters that I respect. So I'm not going to call anybody out by name because I just think they're doing their job.
You call me out by name.
No, not even. No, I would tell you. I would call you out. I just mean like people going like, man, like, look at the win totals in Vegas. Look at the betting odds. Look at this. There's no good quarterback play. They keep changing coaches. Like, there's a lot of like sky is falling with the SEC football. And I want to point out, if you're going to go that route, I think you need to look at the teams that are projected right now, according to whatever betting site you use, to win the national championship. And I don't think winning the national championship it's a piece of the puzzle. And if you win the national championship, you have bragging rights. You are the best. You earn the right to brag. But really, it's that and the upper class of your conference. It's that and the middle class of your conference. It's that and your revenue. It's that and how many players are you putting into the draft. It's that and your attendance numbers. Like, all this stuff is what dictates a healthy football league. And the SEC is still great at that. And if you look at the projections to win the championship, just again, we're talking like as a pure data exercise on April 8th. Ohio State's number 1 at plus 600.
I agree.
Oregon and Notre Dame and Texas are all tied at number 2. So that's 2 Big Ten teams and an SEC team, and then Notre Dame in the top 4. And then, again, SEC right there. Georgia at plus 1,000 is number 6. Bama. I love that bet. I agree. I'm taking the Georgia. I'm taking the Georgia bet, too.
What bookie is this?
Indiana's at plus 750 at number 5. So that's 3 Big Ten in the top 5. Totally valid. That's totally warranted. Bama, LSU, and A&M are all plus 1,500, all tied for 7th for the chance to win the national championship. And Ole Miss is plus 2,500. They're next on the list at 12th on the list. So that's 6 of the top 12 teams right now. Odds on to win the national championship are from the SEC.
Wait, what did you say? Did you say Vanderbilt?
No, Ole Miss.
I'm just messing with you.
But I mean, I'm 6 out of the top 12, according to the betting odds, are from the SEC to win the national title. And again, I don't want to put too much on one championship. I don't want to put too much on betting odds, but that's sort of what we have to go on right now. And I'm just saying, like, the SEC has as good a chance as anybody to win the national championship next year. The Big Ten has as good a chance as anybody to win the national championship next year. Like, if you want to talk about the ACC and the Big 12 winning a championship, then I'll be surprised.
I will say the one team in there from the SEC where it kind of gives me a little bit of pause would be Alabama. And the only reason I say that, because I can say this for a number of teams in college football, is I don't know what their quarterback situation looks like. Like,
Yeah.
I think I know, but I don't know.
Well, if you look at these SEC teams, you're going Arch Manning, you're going Gunnar Stockton, you're going Sam Levitt, you're going Marcel Reed, you're going Trinidad Chambliss. That's established star power at the 5 of the 6 biggest teams, and then Bama.
Agree. No. I'm just saying the one outlier.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm agreeing with you. Like,
okay, cool. Yeah.
Part of the reason that I think this sort of like, SEC's dead kind of narrative, which again is just kind of don't take the bait. That's me not taking. I shouldn't take the bait. Is that I know I do. I actually talked to Blake Toppmeyer about this on an episode a couple months ago. Like every year, I feel like I say this in the spring. Like, look at the quality at quarterback in the SEC, and then it doesn't translate. But like I just mentioned, returning starters who won a bunch of games last year. Trinidad Chambliss was almost the best quarterback on the planet in college football last year. Gunnar Stockton, I think, is really good. I don't think he's ever going to be an elite, like carry the team on his shoulders, but he fits Georgia. He fits Georgia perfectly. I think Marcel Reed needs to get better. But like this doesn't even include a lot of the guys that we this doesn't include Lenore Sellers. This doesn't include like there's a lot of other guys. Byron Brown, I think, is going to be really good in Alex Golish's system at Auburn. This doesn't include any of that stuff. And so I just think the quarterback play is going to be really good. I think the SEC is motivated. I think the teams look just as good. I think the top half of the league is pretty deep. I don't know if it means they win a championship and break the quote-unquote streak. I don't know. Ohio State looks pretty good. Like Notre Dame looks pretty good. Like these teams look good. But I give them I think it's as healthy as it. I think the top of this league is just as healthy as it's ever been. And they have so many new coaches in the middle and the bottom of the league that we'll see what happens. So
I don't think it's a stretch to say that the streak could potentially be broken. I don't think it's also a stretch to say that we're in a spot right now, brother, where the Big Ten can run it back next year. Here's the thing with the Big Ten. I don't know how much of a reach this is going to be when I say this. You just named off top betting odds, and you named 6 SEC teams. I don't know if there's 6 Big Ten teams out there that could go win a title next year.
No, Ohio State's 1, Oregon's 2, Indiana's 5, and then you got to go all the way down to Michigan, which is way down the list.
You see where I'm getting, but I'm going with the depth
I agree.
of the conference and where we're at. So, like to me, that part kind of stands out where you'd have to have an outlier like you had last year with Indiana to make the run. I think that overall, I think quarterback play, like I'm very curious to see, like Bryce Underwood.
Dante Moore is going to be great for Oregon.
Awesome.
He's going to be great. I think Underwood takes a step forward. And honestly, I'll give our commenter there, RCLMX159. Don't sleep on Florida. I don't think they're a championship contender by any stretch, but I think they're much improved.
Florida wins 8 games next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think I love Summerall and I love Buster Faulkner. But I think, I
don't disagree with what you're saying because I think that it sets up where the talent wise, where there were so many questions going into last year. I think this year we have a lot more answers coming out of spring than we had, so it makes it the conversation a little bit more spicier heading into the summer.
Yeah, and I think the Big Ten is going to be really good. I think if you have 3 of the top 5 teams, that's the thing that you brag about. You say, no, we got 3 of the top 5. We're the best conference at the top. That's fine. That's great. If that's true, cool. Way to go. And if the SEC is the best in the middle, like say that. It all can work together.
And I'll tell you my other lingering question that I'm going to have for the next couple of months, 5-6 months, is can the ACC break through again? Yeah. And is that Miami?
Like, what is Dabo Sweeney right now? It's fascinating. But like, let me go back.
The F out.
I can already feel my like narrative brain working here because like Indiana, the narrative is going to be, can you do it a third year where you replace so many players
with Josh Hoover
with guys, and Hoover's a really interesting player. Oregon, it's like Dan Lanning can't get over the hump, but his teams are so dominant every other game. Like, was that an Indiana problem or an Ohio State problem 2 years ago for Oregon? And I know we're kind of outside the Big Ten or outside the SEC right now, and then I look at, I look at like the Alabama narrative is going to be fascinating. The one that is most interesting to me, and Texas is fascinating. Texas Tech is fascinating. I agree. The one in the SEC that is most interesting to me from like a nerd standpoint is Kirby Smart is attempting to break the current model that is winning. Like Ohio State, Indiana, and Michigan, They're doing it the new NIL way, which is what you should be doing. And Kirby's one of the only guys in the country that's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draft, develop, retain. And he's like doing it like the old school, like I'm going to recruit and develop and start guys who've played for 3 years for me. And I think it's really interesting that the best coach in the country as of 2 years ago is trying it a little differently and has what appears to be on paper a very good football team coming into this season. Like
he's dug his heels in, bro.
I would take Georgia plus 1,500 in 2 seconds right now for the national title if you're gambling.
And right, and I agree. And here's the thing too, I'll never doubt Kirby. I'll never if he wants to dig his heels in and do this and play this system, like it's almost kind of like it's kind of not, but it is what it is. It's like Dabo never doing a transfer. You know what I mean? Like maybe 2-3 transfers, you know, and then Kirby has his ways. You know what I mean? So like,
and he's still doing some transfer. Like he still takes some transfers, but it's not like everybody else.
Agreed. So like to me, it's, you know, Kirby versus the world. It's like, you know, Billy Bean versus everybody else in Major League Baseball. I'm going to make my way work.
I am smarter than everyone else. And then we're going to lose to the Yankees. Now, funny thing about those athletics teams, it helps when you have 3 Cy Young Award-winning pitchers just at the top of your rotation. But don't worry about that part.
Right. Yeah.
Tim Hudson, Barry Zito, Mark Mulder. How about that? Right off the top.
Such a good movie too. By the way,
such a good, even better book.
Better book.
Much better.
Absolutely, but for the visually.
Who was the catcher from Alabama? Speaking of the SEC, there was a catcher from Alabama he wasn't like Kevin Euclid was the Greek god of walks, but who was the catcher from Alabama that was like an entire chapter in the book?
I know.
I can't remember his name.
Talking about.
But he was like he walked a lot and he was a good defensive player and he had the good war.
Essentially, he was signed as a
and his name was so boring, right? It was like Parker, like something boring, like Michael Palmer or something like that.
Now you're making me look this up as you go on into the next.
All right, Yazoo Brewing Company up in Madison, right there on the river, Cumberland River. You got it sits on a bluff, guys. On a bluff. You ever been on a bluff? Yazoo Brewing Company has a tap room on a bluff with benches and like an outdoor play area for the dogs and the kids. You can sit there, have an ice cold local craft beer, and look at the river in peace and quiet as the weather's getting nice. So go check out the Yazoo Brewing Company. They got Grill Shack burgers and fries in there, which is great for the kids. They got pretty good wings as well. The OG craft beer in Nashville, Tennessee. Yazoo since 2003. Back when the SEC was missing championship games. Yazoo Brewing Company was founded in 2003. And then in 2003, that's when it ended, right? That's when Nick Saban won a championship at LSU.
Enough.
So there you go. Yazoo Brewing Company. Go check it out. Who was the name of the catcher in Moneyball from Alabama? I couldn't
figure it out because all I kept bringing up is Scott Hatteberg. I can't.
That's close, but that's not it either.
I know it's not. I
all right, now
Jeremy Brown.
Now I'm going to try. Yes, that's it. Jeremy Brown.
How the hell did I just come across this? I don't even know how. It was just an article that says Moneyball catcher takes heat in stride.
Didn't I say it was a really boring name?
Yes, that's crazy. Okay,
Jeremy Brown. That's right.
Oh, here's an article. Crazy 2020. I'm not reading you the whole article. I'm reading you the title from CBS in Birmingham. How Jeremy Brown went from Moneyball to the Alabama coal mines.
Oh my God, is he working in the Alabama coal mines?
I've
got the article right here. That's fascinating.
This is 2022. That's wow.
I'm gonna have to read this now.
Yeah, I am too. Now you've done me in now, dude.
Sorry, bud.
Looking up Moneyball stuff.
That's all right. It's all right.
That is a great story. If it is okay, we'll see.
So of those tops, so you got Texas, Georgia, Bama, LSU, A&M, and Ole Miss. I do think all 6 of those teams could challenge. Their playoff contenders. I don't know how many of them could legitimately win like 3 or 4 games in the tournament, but I think they're good teams, really good teams, and they're nationally good teams. The question is anybody else? Do you have anybody else on that list in the SEC? Are you putting anyone else in that? Tennessee's not on this list.
I really want to put South Carolina on
Oklahoma.
Right. I know.
There's also a great returning quarterback.
2 teams that I really want to put on it would be Oklahoma and South Carolina right now, but I'm so damn hesitant, Braden, just because
I would have Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Florida, Auburn. Am I missing anybody? I think the bottom tier is the same tier. It's Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State.
Vanderbilt's going to be in a transition year with Curtis.
Yeah, and I think Curtis has a lot of growing to do, but I think he's very talented, but I think he has a lot of growing to do with like modern
6-7 wins next year type of team.
Yep, I agree. All right, what else you got?
Damn it, I didn't even realize that.
Anything else? Follow him on Outkick, outkick.com, at Trey Wallace,
man.
Twitter machine.
We're doing
what's the actual
legislation and fun stuff, and then we get meetings. We got baseball, college baseball is going on. I'll be heading to Omaha this summer. And then I'm gonna hop into a coma for about 2 weeks and see if I can reset the brain. But yeah, man, no, we're pumping it out, having a good time doing it. And the Final Four recap was already done. Did a story yesterday about how Dan Hurley and Dusty May put together the rosters, especially in this era. I would say, in talking with some folks, even in the last 24 hours, I think transfer portal in college basketball is going to be getting even crazier over the next week. There's a lot of names that have not been entered yet because they're going through negotiations with their current school.
Go look at the Lady Vols. Do they even have a player on the roster?
They have one player now, and it's a Liberty transfer. Congrats.
Do you have a date on the spring meetings in Destin?
Yeah, 26
of May, before Memorial Day. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, we'll circle that one on the calendar, and we'll be ready for that. All right, Trey,
before Memorial Day. Damn.
That's right. Thank you so. Actually, you know what? It might be the day after Memorial Day because
it is. That's how it always.
The 500 is that Sunday, I think, like the 24th maybe or something like that. So, all right, I'm trying to line it because I've got a beach vacation planned like the next week, and I'm trying to see if I can get my company to pay for my own beach vacation. You know what I mean? With the kids and the in-laws.
I love it.
All right, man.
You're gonna show up with the in-laws at spring meetings.
Yeah,
I mean, hell, they got all these other families just walking around the Destin Resort. Like, who cares? Like,
I'm standing there with Clark Lee and my 8-year-old, and he's like, "What?" He's like, "I've got a leadership book for you, sweetie." He's like, "You're 8 years old. You're taller than Diego."
You know what the funniest? Some of the funny, I know, whatever, we're ending this, but the funniest thing, like sometimes at these spring meetings, is seeing all these coaches with their kids. And by the way, folks, these are just normal folks. They just have big jobs.
Don't act like Lane Kiffin is normal.
No, not Lane. I mean, he's going to bring.
He's far more normal than anybody.
He's going to bring his nephew around. If he tries to act like his real, whatever. I'm not going on that road. But it's them just, yelling at their kids, get your ass out of the pool type of thing. Like, it's the funny stuff.
Stop running. Yeah. Slow down.
Sir, can I get just 5 minutes, coach? Need to talk to you 5 minutes.
Put your sister down. Put her down. All right, man. Be good.
This was fun. Y'all have a great
pleasure. Always a pleasure seeing you. Have a good vacation. We'll talk to you whenever we talk to you. Go to Yazoo. Go to Tennessee Brew Works. Go to East Nashville Beer Works. Support good local tap rooms. And, of course, support good local journalism and the rest of the shows across the 440 Sports Network. For Trey, I'm Braden. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.